Thanks for joining us. Today I want to introduce you to a special guest, Tom Hickmott, sitting here with me, one of our solution architects here at TechWare. Now, when it comes to complex IT infrastructure design, I think you're going to be pretty hard pressed to find a better bloke than this guy right here at completing that. Thank you for joining us, Tom.
Thanks, Trent. Glad to be here.
So my first question for you, Tom, is what's happened? What's happened in the landscape? Has there been a catalyst change that's driven us to have to look at the firewall?
Yeah, so I guess the biggest change over the last few years has been the move away from having all of your infrastructure, having all of your applications at your office. We're moving to an age where applications are going cloud and businesses are moving all of their infrastructure into the cloud. But also employees are now coming into the office less, they're working from home, they're working on the road. So, we're starting to reassess all parts of the network, and one of the big focuses is the modern firewall.
Okay. So from what I understand, it's mainly based around the fact of how everyone's working and there's no real centralized location anymore. So it's harder to protect one spot and it's just not viable any longer.
Yeah, correct. So, we're looking at a scenario nowadays where we're not just protecting the perimeter of your office and your branch offices. What we actually have to think about is protecting all of your users from anywhere in the world, because most companies now, or a lot of companies now, are moving to that modern workplace type scenario where it's a work from anywhere approach. A user needs to be able to go home and do their work. They need to be able to work on the road, while they're traveling, all of that sort of thing. So that's really changing how we look at security and how we look at the role of the firewall.
So, I suppose in order to understand the modern firewall better, it's probably good to start with the traditional firewall. Can you give us a rundown of what that looks like?
Yeah, so in a traditional sense, you've got your employees, they sit at a desk in the office, they access their data and they access their applications that are located within the office. And in order to protect them from internet-based threats or protect them on the internet, you've got a firewall that sits on the edge of your network, and it basically guards into inbound and outbound threats, and provides that gatekeeping function within your network.
So when we're looking at this type of firewall, there's gaps that are evident in it with the way that the workplace has changed, and that's what the modern firewall is trying to plug those gaps. Right?
That's right. Look, we're looking now at protecting the users rather than the networks or the offices, because at the end of the day, if a user is going to be working outside of your network, then that's where the threats are going to come into play. What's going to happen a lot of the time is a user's going to go home. If they're unprotected, whatever happens to them while they're outside of the office will be brought back into the office. So we're really about protecting, rather than the edge of your network, about the user and following the user and making sure we protect them at all times.
Fantastic. So just to get a little bit more around the modern firewall, can you give us, like you did with the traditional, can you give us like an outline of what it looks like?
So the modern firewall now it's a combination of products and services that you now use to protect a user. So you add stuff in there like web filtering that will effectively protect your users, whether they be inside or outside of your network. You look at solutions like SD-WAN and that sort of thing, which what that does is it means a user, wherever they go, have got their own private connection. It means that your applications and your data are not exposed to the internet, and it reinforces that work from anywhere. Being able to work wherever a user is.
Look, I think we're going to have to park it there for this week, Tom, because that's quite a lot. It's quite a lot of information. But next week, I just want to delve a little bit more into why the modern firewall is so important and a little bit more around how it actually works.
Sounds good.
Now, if you out there would like to be notified of when we release that video, which will be next week, I'm going to leave a subscription box at the end of this video for you to fill out your details. But until then, Tom, thank you for joining us.
Thanks, Trent.
Thank you out there for watching, and until next time, I'll see you soon.